AliExpress used to be the place where you could buy a watch that looked like it belonged in a Seiko showroom but cost less than the shopping centre car park ticket. Back in the good old days, about 18 months ago, you could snag something genuinely impressive for around £200. Fast forward to 2025 and that benchmark has ballooned closer to £400. Even AliExpress is not immune to inflation, which means we now live in a world where an unknown to 99% of the human race Chinese diver costs more than my first car, minus the leaky head gasket and rotten chassis. Now, to be fair, the high-end stuff has improved dramatically. Some of them are actually good enough that you hesitate before calling them homages to Chinese icons, mainly because the Chinese icons themselves are too busy cutting corners to notice. But let's be honest, no one clicked this video to hear me waffle on about watches that cost 400 quid. You're here because you want to know if you can still get a decent dive watch for less than a family meal at McDonald's. And yes, depressingly, that's a fair comparison. I took the kids there last week, 4 bottomless pits disguised as human children, and walked out 57 quid lighter. 57 quid! At that price, I used to expect at least a tablecloth and waiter asking if I'd like pepper with my nuggets, instead of cardboard straws that disintegrate before you've even made it back to the table. But it does somehow bring us neatly to the Addiesdive AD2514, a sub £50 quartz diver with a ceramic bezel, a 3D wave dial and enough lume to double as a lighthouse. But is it worth it? Or should you skip the diver's 200-metre fantasy and just order a KFC Bargain Bucket instead? Let's find out. First impressions? I like it. Genuinely. It's solid, feels properly put together and manages to look familiar without skipping into lazy homage territory. There's a touch of deja vu about it. Submariner DNA is definitely in there, but it doesn't come across as just another cheap copy. Addiesdive have been on a roll lately with designs that borrow inspiration without just hitting go on a cheap photocopier. And they've even dressed it up with hints of Grand Seiko and the inevitable Seiko flavour throughout. Specs include a 41mm brushed and polished stainless steel case, 13mm thick, 48mm lug-to-lug, although with the male end links an effective 53.5mm. Domed AR-coated mineral crystal, signed screw-down crown and caseback, and a claimed 200 metres of water resistance. A 120-click unidirectional ceramic bezel, BGW9 lume on the dial and bezel insert, a solid oyster-style bracelet with polished centre links, and a stamped clasp with pushers and 3 micro-adjustments. And powering it is a cheap Miyota 2115 quartz movement. It sort of has the vibe of a modded watch, but in a more tastefully modded way, rather than the garish, pair this Roman numeral dial with this lightning bolt second hand because it fits sort of way. If you like this watch and want a chance to snag it, along with many others, I run a members only giveaway where I give away all the review pieces I get sent, as well as offer early access to videos, exclusive content and a good old chinwag in the members posts. Fancy a shot at multiple watches every month? Just tap that join button below or hit the link in the description. The money from the members goes directly to the costs involved in getting the watches to the winners. The next giveaway is for this watch, and the winner will be announced on Friday the 3rd of October. So join now for the chance to grab this and many other watches. Oh, and if you still haven't entered the free 7,500 subscriber giveaway, then the link is in the description. Alright, shameless promotion over, let's get back to the video. The case is a 41mm oyster-style subby affair with finishing that gets straight to the point. Brushed across the top, polished down the sides, job done. The brushing is perfectly acceptable for this price, though it won't have Grand Seiko losing any sleep. And the polishing does what it needs without fuss. There's no bevel where the two sides meet, so yes, the sides do look a little slabby. Some will write that off as cost cutting, but I actually think it leans into the watch's no-nonsense toolish character. It looks honest, rather than trying and failing to be posh. The crown and caseback are etched with the familiar snorkel and harpoon logo, And here's where Addiesdive reminds us all of its Achilles heel: branding. If you've watched me for a while, you'll know that this is one of my biggest gripes with Chinese watches in general. They make genuinely solid products, then shoot themselves in the foot with logos that look like clip art collages. Addiesdive aren't the only culprits, but they're easily one of the boldest offenders. And it's a shame because the nautical theme does make sense. It just needs to be simplified, sharpened, and given a single clear identity. Right now, it's more mess than message. And since my actual career outside YouTube is in this exact field, Addiesdive, if you're watching, I'll even do you a favour and flash up one of my own designs. You're welcome. Where they've got it absolutely right though, is the bezel. It's smooth, tactile, and lines up perfectly. And it doesn't even have a hint of backplay. It's the sort of bezel action you'd expect on a watch costing several times more. And the only giveaway is the sound. It has a slightly hollow ring to it, but you can forgive that when the function is this good. The bracelet is fine. Not brilliant, not offensive, just fine. I've seen far worse on watches that cost more, and yes, Seiko, I'm definitely pointing at you. The polished mid-links, however, are a misstep. On a bracelet that's already clearly budget, they only make it look more cheaper. A fully brushed bracelet would have hit the nail to watch aesthetic. And if I were keeping this, the first thing I'd do is attack those shiny strips with a Scotch Brite pad until they begged for mercy. As for the clasp, stamped, unsigned, unapologetically cheap. But here's the thing, it works. It closes, it stays shut, and it keeps the watch on your wrist. At this price, that's all you can really demand. Once it's on the wrist, it fades away. And that's probably the nicest thing I can say about it. But it is the dial that is the real show stealer here. That 3D wave pattern adds depth and catches the light differently with every tiny flick of the wrist. It feels layered and textured, and crucially, it feels designed for this watch. Not just some tired, overused motif like a sand dune pattern that's been slapped on half the watches over the last 18 months. At this price point, I would have half expected a simple sunburst style, so seeing this extra effort, trying something new without costing a fortune, is genuinely refreshing. The Dauphine hands are a strange choice for a diver, but with the rest of the dial, they work. It's nice to see something different rather than another rehash of Mercedes or SKX style hands. For the price, the finishing is surprisingly good, and they're filled with plenty of BGW9 lume, which we'll get into in a minute. The applied indices are just as impressive, neatly polished, properly applied, and filled with more lume than it seems possible at this price. The dial itself is grey, starting dark at the centre and fading ever so slightly darker towards the edges. And then, boom! The chapter ring hits you with that pop of vibrant orange. It's ridiculous, loud, unnecessary, and completely over the top. But somehow, it just makes the whole dial sing. It lifts the design, injects energy, and makes you actually want to look at it. Other colours exist, green, dark red, but for me, this orange is the star. At 3 o'clock sits the date window. Personally, I have no problem with this. At 6 o'clock, the date would have added symmetry, but with such chunky indices, the 3 o'clock placement doesn't really break anything. The Cyclops, however, doesn't do it for me. It just draws attention away from what is otherwise a stunning dial. And the dial proudly declares divers 200 metres, which is adorable. Do I believe it? It's giving me no reason to. But does its construction feel like it could handle swimming, showers, and the odd snorkel trip? Yes. Look, this isn't certified, so no rigorous testing, no waterproofing lab, no clipboard-wielding engineering staff signing it off. I can only assume that a marketing guy decided that 200 looked better than 100, so 200 it was. And honestly, I respect the audacity. And yes, the second hand ticks. Normally, that might feel cheap or uninspired, but here it doesn't. Quartz brings all its usual perks: accuracy, reliability, and the fact that it's still ticking even if you leave it in the box for a couple of weeks. And unlike most budget quartz watches, it doesn't come at the expense of design. everything still feels thoughtfully executed. Look at this as a beta, something you don't mind banging around, scratching or wearing without worry, and I'd struggle to think of a better looking option. And then there's the lume. And when I say lume, I mean lume. Bright enough to read the time through the night, and it stays strong. Even the bezel lume glows, although it fades faster than the dial, but it's still a nice touch. On the wrist, this definitely has presence. With minimal lug curvature, it sits more on top of the wrist than hugging it, but it's not uncomfortable. The male end links make it feel just a touch too big for me. Nothing a simple strap swap couldn't fix if, like me, you have the wrists that feel more like a 12-year-old's than an adult's. Anything around a 7-inch wrist, this should fit perfectly. The Addiesdive AD2514 is a watch, in the loosest sense. It tells the time, yes. It's made of steel, yes. It's water resistant enough for daily life, sure. But what is it really? It's a dial. A shimmering, wave pattern 3D dimensional spectacle. Framed by a colour chapter ring that makes it pop like nothing else in this price bracket. If you're after prestige, heritage or mechanical poetry, look elsewhere. If you want a watch that makes you grin every time the light hits it, this is it. The AD2514 is cheap, it's bold, and it's unapologetically dial first. And honestly, for under 50 quid, this might be the best cheap dive watch beta you can buy. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.